Prejudice. Wrote a song about it. Like to hear it? Here it goes. Free your mind.
Hey, you are listening to Panties and Sports. This is Dizzie Mac, your player partner, here with the one and only First Lady of Sports Talk, the one and only Cheryl Smith. First Lady, how you doing?
Hey, Dizzie Mac, hanging in there, doing real well. Can't wait to start talking about sports today. The playoffs is here.
Wow, you know what? You said a mouthful there. Hey, we're joined by the Shimmy Shake Girls and our panel. The word is we may have a spit-face sighting. It could get lively. Well, First Lady, I know you got a lot to talk about, so we're ready for what you say. Over to you.
Each week, we try to figure out what is going on in the sports world. Not the plays of the week, more like the players of the week. Are they trying to tell us something? So we ask, what you saying? Fly, little birdie, fly. Time keeps on slipping into the future. Time keeps on slipping into the future. So I want to fly like an eagle to the sea. Fly like an eagle, let the spirit carry me. I want to fly right into the future. The little birdie known as Carmelo Anthony says free agent players want to fly far, far away from the Knicks and Phil Jackson's triangle offense. Melo says free agents do not want to be re-educated in how to play basketball. Melo is 32 years old. Does this little birdie want to fly away before he loses all his feathers? Is Phil being too darn stubborn and missing out on players and possibly a coach like Tom Thibodeau who could make them winners? Does Phil really want to be the GM of the Knicks when he seems to spend more time flapping his wings in L.A.? Mark Jackson and one of my favorite New York Knicks, Ray Williams, Cassie Russell, and the Steve Miller Band are asking, what you saying? Well, right now, the New York Knicks are saying nothing because, again, another dreadful season and they're out of the playoffs. Carmelo Anthony, he is really being very, very mellow regarding his decision to stay with the Knicks. He has repeatedly, and I mean repeatedly, denied that he wants to leave New York. He loves New York. His wife, Lala, she loves New York. Carmelo is New York. However, he is absolutely correct that elite players do not want to learn the triangle. The NBA is a pick-and-roll league dominated by guard play. I mean, the triangle focuses on getting the ball into the low post and players making cuts to the basket, and you have to have a center that can really pass the ball out of the post. This is old school basketball, but the NBA players are playing new school basketball. You know, they're shooting these 3-pointers. That's all the NBA is now. The Golden State Warriors, they changed the whole NBA with these 3-point shooting, and everybody's trying to catch up with the Golden State Warriors. But Phil is very stubborn. This is why Derek Fisher is not here, because Derek was not running the triangle offense, but Phil wants the triangle. So, I mean, he needs to hire a coach who's willing to run the triangle. So I'm sorry. People like Coach Thibodeau, they will not be part of the Knicks as long as Phil Jackson is the president of the New York Knicks. He's either going to give that coaching job to Kurt Rambis or possibly Brian Shaw. I think he should give it to Brian Shaw. I like him better than Kurt Rambis. He has a little bit, more, relationships with players. I think Kurt Rambis is really too old school. But the thing is, Phil is going to coach the team at home. This is what he wants. He either wants the other coach to coach on the road, and he coaches the home games. He wanted to do this when he was in Los Angeles, but the former owner, Jerry Buss, rest his soul, he said, hell no. He will not allow the home code, the home games. He said no. But we all know that the New York Knicks owner, James Dolan, is desperate, and he doesn't care. He will allow Phil to coach home games. He's paying Phil Jackson $12 million a year. So you want to know something? He should be able to tell Phil whatever he wants. So he probably does need to coach the home games, because how on earth are we going to recruit elite players to come to New York? The only way you can recruit them, you have to say that Phil Jackson will be coaching some of the games. That's the only way to me to get somebody into the Knicks as really elite player. So if he doesn't coach, if he doesn't coach or he doesn't recruit top players, I don't care what Carmelo Anthony says. He will be leaving the Knicks. It may not be next year, Dizzie Mac, but it will be coming very shortly. So I'm a Knicks fan. You know, I follow the Knicks all the time. And I'm just saying this is what's going to be happening, because Carmelo will leave the Knicks, definitely. All right, Dizzie Mac, what do you say about this?
Well, First Lady, I know that it's going to be hard. It's going to be really hard when you talk about trying to get free agents into New York, the Big Apple. Yeah, they don't want to come and be running a triangle. I mean, they're used to pick and roll. They're used to isolation, movement without the ball, that free-flowing type offense, pick and pop type game. It's going to be hard. And who wants to, you know, the triangle is so complex, so complex. I mean, you got people who really don't understand that it's very complex. You have to really have a high IQ basketball-wise to play it. Melo may have to go to another team. If he's going to be that outspoken about the triangle, it may be better for him to go to another team. You know, if he does go, if they do look to try to move him, he'll go back out west. I think that's more of his kind of game. You know, I think he was kind of hoping that New York would be something that really, really wasn't a good fit for him. I know Lala's from New York, and I know Melo's from New York, but hey, sometimes you can't go home. Now, Phil coaching the home games, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think the owner's going to want that. He's not going to try to have that. You in effect having two coaches. Nobody wants to have two coaches. Well, they play like this because he's coaching. He play like that because he's coaching them this way. The other coach is coaching them that way. No consistency. Who do you listen to? You have a timeout and both of them say something. Who do you listen to? Do I listen to you? 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 You know, they're going to be confused. And it's already confusing being a Knicks. I know you're a Knicks fan, First Lady.
Wait a minute, Dizzie, but let's face it. If you have two coaches, remember, Phil is not going to be on the road. And you always got to keep in mind, too, Phil is hiring coaches that's going to play his offense. That's why Derek Fisher is gone. Derek didn't want to play the triangle offense. And he wasn't relying on Phil. And that's what Phil had problems with. So, I mean, you remember, Phil's going to put somebody there that he really thinks is going to be a mirror image of him.
Yeah, and that's not going to go after another player's wife. That's definitely going to have to be at the top of the list. Somebody that's going to be ugly enough, they're not going to be able to go after nobody else's wife. And you know, the prettiest woman on the team belongs to Melo. You know, hey, girl, you know, you're looking kind of good. You know, Melo kind of hurt. You know, you need somebody to talk to. You know, you talk to me. But, yeah, it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough, First Lady. But Phil is out to find that right fit. And knowing Phil, he's going to have to find him sooner than later. Because I think he's only going to have about maybe one more year to get something happening in New York before you step in and take over for him.
Please,
I think the problem with the Knicks was hiring Phil in the first place.
Oh,
yeah. It was hiring Phil in the first place. Phil had his day. I still say that Greg Popovich is the better coach.
Oh.
And Phil had the advantage of having Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and Shaq Daddy.
Oh.
Yeah, but you know what? I see what you're saying, but remember one thing, Ronnie B. You have to be able to manage those personalities because keep in mind, all of those.
No, I'm not knocking Phil on the personality.
You had coaches that were coaching them before Phil got there.
And I give Phil credit for that, but he still had them. Talent overrules. Talent overrules a lot, but I do not have. Phil is not going to get the players that will that will be able to run the triangle, and I don't get that player. I get players like Carmelo Anthony. They don't want to play for Phil, and that's not going to change. Phil is the problem.
You think Phil is the problem? Well, he's he definitely is the problem as a GM because he didn't really have a history of being a GM prior to taking that position. He was always a great coach, but being a GM is a different mindset. You got to.
The owner thought that if I bring in Phil, that's really going to attract these top players and the top coach. No.
He didn't have the cachet.
Yeah, what they need to do is let Phil ride out this one more year on the contract and get ready to get a new GM and get a respected coach in there.
All right. Do I hear Isaiah Thomas coming back? I hope not. But
no. I said respect. I said respected.
Now, let me tell you something about Isaiah Thomas, though. He knows how to evaluate talent. He knows how to evaluate talent. That's one thing about Isaiah. If you look at all his draft picks and the people that he evaluated as players, he did quite well because they're very good now in the NBA. All right, Dizzie Mac, over to you.
Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years, rocking my peers, putting suckers in fear, making the tears rain down like a monsoon, listen to the bass go boom, explosion, overpowered over the competition I'm tired. Risk getting shot when I drop these lyrics that'll make you call the cops. Don't you dare stare, you better move. Don't ever compare me to the rest of the all get you sliced and diced. Competition paying up price. I'm gonna knock you out. Mama said knock you out. We're not talking about Julio Cesar Chavez, Bigger Ray Robinson, or Archie the Mongoose Moore. Kudos to the Warriors, but we wonder, will there be gas in the tank to win the championship? If they don't win the championship, does it make breaking the record meaningless? If they meet the Cavaliers in the championship and win, is LeBron's chance of winning another ring knocked out like Ken Norton versus George Foreman? If the Warriors win it all, are they the greatest NBA team ever? Ever, ever? Can they knock out the competition and sweep the playoffs? Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Phil Jackson, and Steve Kerr are asking, what you saying? Wow. Man. Well, hey, kudos to the Warriors, first off. Very, very tough record. They have it now, and they play well during the regular season. Now, will there be gas in the tank? I believe they are ready. I think they have a lot of gas in the tank. Now, it could be seen how, if they going to really make it. I don't know. If they don't win the championship, it does make breaking a record meaningless. I mean, it's a very meaningful record, but because they lost, they're not going to look at it as the same. They'll look at it and say, okay, yeah, we did that. But we didn't do what we really set out to do, which is repeat. As far as meeting the Cavaliers, if LeBron doesn't win, it's going to be tough. Because he's going to have a losing record in championship series. And I mean, you won 2, but that's still not good. That's not befitting of the player of LeBron's magnitude, but game, more than just him. Would the Warriors be the greatest team of all time? I like the Warriors, but, I mean, Philadelphia, Moses Malone, Dr. J, man, it's a great team, great record. You had the Bulls. Man, what can I say? I was here looking at it live on the bearskin rug. You see me right there behind the bench, high-fiving Scottie Pippen and them coming off the court. I was the one that was naked. They're not going to be able to sweep the playoffs. I mean, they may knock off the competition, fairly easy, but they're going to have some losses along the way in each series. It's going to be serious coming out the West. And believe me, I don't think they're going to come out unscathed and do a Moses Malone prediction, 4-4-4. Moses had the famous line, 4-4-4. That's why they just going to win, sweeping everybody. And they just about pretty much did. Well, First Lady, I look forward to it. But what you saying about all of this?
Well, Dizzie Mac, I mean, the Warriors have been the best team during the regular season. They have chased, and, they deserve the record of winning the most games during the regular season. However, if you're going to compare the Warriors to the Bulls that had the record, yes, it is very, very meaningless if they do not win the championship, because the Bulls won the championship when they broke that record. So if the Bulls won the championship, the Warriors need to win the championship. And if they don't win it, then it will be a meaningless record. I mean, the championship is the big and the ultimate prize. I mean, it's what players play for. I mean, it's great. Now, for the Warriors, as they're the best team ever, yeah, if they win back-to-back championships, I consider them a great team, but I still put them behind the Bulls and the Lakers. I mean, to me, I think those two teams are the greatest team ever. I mean, you can always go back to the Celtic teams when Bill Russell was there, when they won 9 straight championships. I mean, to be honest with you, nobody really even talks about that team, because to me, that's a more greater feat than winning 7 games. So win 9 straight championships, I don't think that will ever be broken, that record. But that's back in the old NBA. So when we're talking about the modern age NBA, I still consider the Lakers and the Bulls to be the best teams ever. And like I said, you just can't compare teams from one generation to the next, because, especially when Magic and Michael played, the rules in the NBA were much difficult, because teams, could play that physical defense, whereas now in the NBA, you can barely touch a offensive player. So they can always score more. So that's why, to me, today's NBA, I always consider it to be a little bit watered down. So I cannot put the Warriors as one of the greatest teams. Definitely not. So I don't think the Warriors will sweep through the playoffs. I don't think a team has ever done that in the NBA. Has ever done that before in the NBA. I know the Sixers, like you said, Dizzie Mac, they came close with 4-5-2. They definitely came close. And I actually went to one of those games back in the 80s, 1983, I think it was. Yeah, 4-5-2. When Dr. J was with the 76ers, boy, how things have changed in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
You fast forward to now, shoot, they're like a D-League team right now. But now, in regards to LeBron, it's not guaranteed that LeBron James is even going to make it to the finals. Prior to the season, I thought it was a shoe-in that LeBron was going to make it to the finals. But, you know, that LeBron has come across some difficult times, and the Cavaliers have come across some difficult times. And it's a possibility that one of the teams in the East could actually knock the Cavs off. But if they do make it to the finals and they do not win, I don't think LeBron James will ever win a championship with the Cavs unless they reconstruct their team, because the current team is not going to happen. If he doesn't make it this year, it will not happen. So unless he can get his buddies to come to Cleveland, like he can get, I know Dwayne Wade is not going, but if they can work out a trade with the Knicks to get Carmelo and to get Chris Paul, then he can bring a championship to Cleveland. But as of now, if LeBron, let me tell you something, if LeBron doesn't do it this year, it definitely will not happen. Definitely not.
Wow. Well, First Lady, I mean, you put it out there like that, and I always appreciate your frank honesty, blunt honesty. Well,
hey, that's the way it is. Gotta tell it like I see it.
Yes, and you do. Well, over to you, First Lady.
The first two listeners to email us or send a shout-out why the boxers are grouped together will receive a $25 gift card from our partners at NFLShop.com. Now, your hint is Mama say knock you out. Stay tuned. Coming up next, we have a performance from Death Machine on the first part of shout-out.
Free Mr. Vaughn. Damn, that's a lot of knockouts.
Achievement is built. Achievement is built on challenge. Achievement is built on setbacks and frustrations. Achievement is built when conditions are difficult. Achievement is built when the direction of the economy is uncertain and when there's no guarantee of success. An achievement is indeed built, for it is not inevitable. Achievement happens because people choose to make it happen. Achievement is built on meaningful intention with devotion, persistent action, and plain old hard work. Achievement is built on the desire to make a difference and on the commitment to fulfill that desire no matter what. Yes, of course, there are obstacles, excuses, distractions, frustrations, and disappointments that push back against achievement. Achievement is built anyway, and the world is a richer, more promising place because of it. Achievement is built by giving the best of your focus and your efforts to each moment. And as you build it, achievement builds you.
Welcome back. The music flows in from around the globe to get a shout out from the panel. First Lady, I can't wait to hear the music from Death Machine. Over to you.
On Shout Out, we feature new independent artists who are looking to find their shining star. If we like what we hear, we'll give the track a shout out. If we don't like it, we hit the mute. This morning we had Death Machine out of Royal Oak, Michigan, and their album, Get High. All right, DJ, let's hear Get High.
Pass that over here.
Death Machine doing impressive things. Money's coming by like it's a Hugh Hefner's theme. They wanna be on a dream team. We guillotine anything these haters bring. Focus on laser beam. Good times, the motivation got my eye on it. I came to party, no violence, I don't trip. Silent riot, we right on it. Shout out to them on that grind, making timeless hits. We take our mind and combine and bind. Anyone who try to step in our lane, rain or shine. Insane bars, I should be locked up, but you cannot contain the tame. I am the truth on my Tupac rush. Turn up the volume, the crowd is slapping. It's all love, fella, dapping. Nobody packing, you can imagine. I take flight whenever the mic's on. And I don't write about drugs, that's how I end on a high note. Alright, yeah. I ain't smoking that Bombay, but I got Bombay. Wanna be my closer compadre. I'm a D-boy, D-straight, any decoy. Even if you on steroid, decrease that weak noise. I'm better than most, got my bread, butter, and toast with a competitive flow. Got me hot, who ready to flow? Breaking out the confetti, let go. With these heavenly melodies I spoke on, I choke on. But I rock another show, Machete the club. I said it because of who better than us. I want you to get fly and rock this party, cause tonight's tonight. I get it hyping up, period. When on the mic, you hearing it recite if you feeling it. Killing me, feeling it, revealing, ain't saying nothing. I'm nothing up, I ain't playing what? How for life? I ain't smoking that Bombay, but I got Bombay. Wanna be my closer compadre. I'm the main act, main course of the entree. You wanna get high with me, you with a nice way. But not the way you thinking on the contrary. You get drunk off success when you're around me. Just getting back to the basics. I'm on cloud nine, do the mass celebration. Yeah, we gon' be here for a minute. I came mob deep in the survival of the fittest. We on that T-chain, hands up. And they say that with that fame that you own, why complain? You can't compare. Front to back, let's keep it going to the moon. And we on that single Mayo, how did in California? You know the logo avatar till I die. So if you wanna ride, turn it up and keep it live, cuz
all the way to the club.
Okay, that was Death Machine with Get High. Hey, Dizzie Mac, what did you think of Get High?
Man, I thought it was pretty good. I thought they did their thing. I liked the beat. It was a good beat to it. Shimmy Shake Girls were grooving over here. They were wiggling and, making it do what it. So we're going to give it a shout-out first, lady.
Okay, Ronnie B., what did you like about Death Machine's Get High?
I like the track. Some of the transitions threw me off a little bit. So, but I'm giving it a shout out. I'm gonna give it a shout out. It was nice. I'm gonna give it a shout out.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I mean, it was okay. That last transition was a little bit rough. I understand what you mean. It just didn't fit with the rest of the song. But the point before that last transition, I thought the song was jamming. I mean, it had a very good beat, like you said, Dizzie Mac. The production was excellent. I mean, it sounded familiar though. I don't know. It sounded like I heard that song before.
I did have one question. In the beginning, he makes a reference to Hugh Hefner. I'm going, does anybody under 30 even know who Hugh Hefner is? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I have to go and speak to some folks under 30. Do y'all know who Hugh Hefner is? Because I'm like, now I get who Hugh Hefner is, but I was kind of like, really?
Well, you know what? After the Bill Cosby incident, maybe they do know who Hefner is.
What has Hugh Hefner done lately?
There's a couple of buddies that play boy buddies that were involved with the Bill Cosby thing. So I don't know. That's a stretch, but anyway, I agree with you. That's a reference.
Is anybody, do they even know who you have? No, okay, well.
Okay, well, anyway. Well, on part 2 of Shout, we'll have another performance from Death Machine. Is that my favorite underwater friend making some sound over there? Do I hear him? Is it time for Flip It?
All right, you know what time it is. It is time for Flip It, where our hosts defend a point and then flip the script and defend the opposing view. Wow. I mean, this blew me away. It is rare we get a blockbuster trade in an NFL, but apparently the gambler is not Riverboat Ron Rivera. It's his old Chicago Bear buddy, Jeff Roll the Dice Fisher. The Rams traded everything but free tickets to a Beyonce concert to get the number 1 draft pick. We asked the panel to defend. The L.A. Rams traded their way into being the L.A. Lambs by giving away a ton of picks to get a questionable first-round quarterback. Dizzie Mac, Bearskin Rug, Raiders. What you saying about them L.A. Rams? Defend.
The L.A. Rams made a bold move. I'm not going to say that they are going to get the quarterback that they want. I didn't see any first-round quarterbacks that would be worth all of that. Now, you've had some Andrew Lucks. You've had some Jameis Winston, Marcus Mariota, quarterbacks that you knew could do the job. But these guys, wow. I mean, it's going to be rough to justify all of that. I mean, it was going to be a big stretch. Again, when you give up that many draft picks, Tennessee is going to be stacked. They put themselves in a position to build a team, whereas I think the Rams are putting all their eggs in one little basket for somebody that's North Dakota, Cal. These guys just going to have to be phenomenal. And that's a lot of pressure. I mean, We know pressure busting iron pipe. So we're going to see how this one pans out. I don't know. I mean, Riverboat Ron Rivera wouldn't have made this move. I don't know. They're going to be turning into L.A. Lambs real quick.
All right. Bye-bye, Black Sheep. The L.A. Rams traded their way into being the L.A. Lambs by giving away a ton of picks to get a questionable first-round quarterback. Bye. First Lady, defend.
What a poor front office. I mean, this is just a disaster waiting to happen. How can you send that many top picks for the top spot in a draft with no top option? 2 first-round picks, 2 seconds, and 2 thirds for what? I can see it in some drafts, but who in this draft is worth that? No quarterback is worth a first-round pick this year, and taking one is a huge gamble. This was a bad, bad trade, and the Rams will definitely regret it for many years. You think they could have learned something about watching, and benefiting from the RG3 trade? Quarterbacks are hard to determine if they're going to be great. Let's face it, the best quarterbacks are not necessarily drafted number 1. Tom Brady, Eli Manning are not number 1 picks. As good as Wentz is, and he probably will have potential of being a good quarterback, but he is far from being a sure thing. I have never been a fan of mortgaging the future because the draft is the best way to build your team. This could set L.A. back for many years, and the Wolves will definitely eat the L.A. Rams.
All right. Let's flip it. We asked the panel to defend. The L.A. Rams knew they needed to make a splash, and they desperately need a quarterback. They made a good move. Dizzie Mac, defend.
The Rams needed to make the kind of splash that they made in a big, major way. This way, at this particular point, you have your choice of quarterback you're going to choose. You're not going to be left with what's left. You may be left with a quarterback you may not have chosen number 1. Now you get a chance to make that choice to be sure that you get your pick, your guy. So they put themselves in a position to do that, and that's a win-win because, again, when you don't have that first pick, somebody may pick your choice, and then you're left with what they didn't pick, and then you're just left with the leftovers, which can't taste good when your team goes 2-14. But it was a great move because, again, they are in the driver's seat. They have the players to make up for those draft picks, and they're smart enough to make free agent pickups and moves so they get experienced players. They're not having to deal with the youngster who may not quite be mature enough to handle the game. Giving away the pick keeps their team not young, but mature enough to handle having a rookie quarterback. Good move. Good move, Rams.
All right. You heard the defense from the guy on the bearskin rug, but First Lady, over to you.
The Rams haven't had a winning season since 2004. 2004. It's been 12 years since they finished above 500. So being frugal and not taking a chance hasn't worked for this franchise. Sometimes you have to take bold chances in order to make a splash, and this is what the L.A. Rams did. The Rams were last in just about every offensive category, and they didn't have a great quarterback returning for them. Is Nick Foles the answer? The Rams are in a win-now situation, and now they have to add a talented quarterback. So they decided to mortgage their team, and they decided to go after either Wentz or Goff. And they believe that this quarterback, either one of those quarterbacks, will help them offensively next season and beyond. I mean, it's nearly impossible to compete in the NFL without a high-quality quarterback. And let's face it, the Rams would not have mortgaged their draft picks unless they were very confident that either one of these quarterbacks, Goff or Wentz, is considered being a franchise-level quarterback, even though everybody else is saying no. Now, if you get a franchise quarterback, then this will turn out to be a good move. Now, obviously, if they miss it, then it's going to be disaster. The number one pick is always intriguing and very, I guess, not intriguing. Well, it's intriguing and it has a ton of value. So no matter what anybody says about it, that number one pick is always intriguing. And the point is, Los Angeles needs a quarterback badly. So they have to go after that number one pick because you got to bring some excitement to the City of Angels in L.A.
Hey, number one draft picks. Wonder if the Texans wishes they had taken the number 2 person, given that they took Clowney. First Lady, take us to break.
Stay tuned. Up next, the funnies and our favorite underwater friend on Flip It Part 2. Clowney.
Amazing. Life is amazing. So be amazed. Instead of acting like you've seen it all before, live as though you're seeing it all for the first time. You are, in fact, experiencing this bright new moment for the very first time. So look carefully, lovingly, and with the highest of expectations. Take an interest in what you're doing, in where you are, and in every part of life you touch. There is new treasure to be discovered everywhere. So find as much as you can. Let yourself be curious about whatever crosses your path. Let yourself be fascinated by what you see and what you learn. There is never any reason to be bored. Embrace a vision of life that is endlessly fascinating and truly amazing. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, be amazed. And your life, along with your whole world, will indeed be amazing.
Welcome back. You are still listening to Bras, Panties, and Sports. It's time for the funnies. All right, Dizzie Mac, over to you.
First Lady, guess what?
I guess another need to grow for 2016.
Well, you're right, First Lady, but we have our 11th Need to Grow story of 2016. Get a load of this one. Mom barred from naming baby Cyanide. Chose name for Hitler connection. A Welsh mother whose attempt to name her daughter Cyanide was blocked by a court said she wanted to name the girl after the poison that killed Hitler. Wow. The 3-judge panel of the appeals court upheld a lower court judge's ruling, blocking the woman from naming her twins Cyanide and Preacher. The woman had argued Cyanide was a lovely, pretty name with positive connotations because some historians believe the poison killed both Adolf Hitler and the Nazi leader propaganda minister Joseph Goebbels. I considered this was a good thing, she said. However, the judges ruled the unusual names for the children, particularly the one fashioned after a notorious poison, could do them harm. The judges said Preacher was not an objectionable name, are named as finite, but they determined both children's names should be chosen by their half-siblings instead of their mother, who has a history of mental illness and drug abuse. Aha. This is one of those rare cases where the court should intervene to protect the girl twin from emotional harm that I am satisfied she would suffer if called cyanide. Lady Justice Eleanor King said in the ruling, so glad for the court. So glad for the court. Thank you for stepping in.
Maybe she should have tried cocaine.
Hey. Something, man. Wow. Okay. Well, gosh darn it. After all of that, as water is splashing on you, it must be time for our favorite underwater friend. It's time for Flip It.
Time for Flip It, where our hosts defend a point and don't name their children cyanide and then flip the script and defend the opposing view. But we do have a couple of preachers in my family. More than a couple. The Warriors have knocked out the regular season record. Can they sweep the playoffs? Starting with the woeful, discombobulated Rockets. Panel defend. The Warriors will not sweep the Rockets. They are great, but it is the playoffs. The Warriors will not sweep the Rockets. Dizzie Mac defend.
Man, they will not sweep the Rockets. The Beard will make sure of that. He has been playing lights out. Golden State just doesn't have anyone that can stick the Beard. I mean, Iguodala is good. He may, be effective in stretches, but the Beard is going to get his. And he's going to be stirring up and cooking up some stuff that will have Golden State at least with 2 losses in that series. At least if they're going to win, they're going to have to at least chomp down on 2 losses. This is the playoffs, baby. You're going to be definitely dunked on. Dwight Howard may even show up. D-Light Howard may even show up with some 2020. He should. If he doesn't, somebody's just going to just say, you big sorry dummy. But no, he should average 20-20 in this series because come on, Draymond Green is too small for him. Too small. So at the very least, they're going to take 2 games from Golden State because this is the playoffs.
All right. First Lady defend.
The Warriors will not sweep the Rockets because of the bearded one. He is on a mission. He has really been on a mission the last month of the season because it didn't look like the Rockets were even going to make it to the playoffs. But he single-handedly put the Rockets in the playoffs. The Rockets can avoid being swept in the playoffs if they contain Stephen Curry. Now, they're not going to stop him, but they just need to make it a little bit difficult for him to catch the ball. They need to meet him at half court. They need to make him play defense, harass him, make it difficult for him to operate. Man, they need to bring in some players and just knock him down to the ground. The Rockets got to take advantage of that. Use all them guards. Make them get at least 6 fouls apiece on Stephen Curry. That's how you got to do it, just to get 1 game? I mean, come on now. You can win 1 game if you knock Stephen off his pace. I mean, he's a great player, but, man, make him work for it. And, like Dizzie Mac says, you got D-Light. Make the Warriors pay for the fact that they are a small team. They play small ball. As Dizzie Mac said, Draymond Green can't guard the White. The White is, 7 feet tall? He should be able to come in with 20 points at least. And the Rockets should take advantage of their size. But that means that the bearded one is going to have to pass the ball to Dwight Howard. And we know they don't get along. But for the sake of not being swept, come on, the bearded one, please pass the White the ball so you guys can at least win 1 game.
Be lying. Be lying.
All right. We're going to flip the scripts panel defend. The Rockets will give it the old college try, but they will be handing out the push brooms as they get swept out of the playoffs and pick up that fishing gear. Dizzie Mac, defend.
Well, I mean, the only thing that I can say about this one is what a whole lot of old folks parable. They're going to get their ass tore up. The Warriors are going to rain down threes on them. The bearded one is going to be playing 1 against 5. He's going to look, they're going to be, put it like this. After the first game, I'll give it the first game. I won't do them. No, I'll say at halftime of the first game. They're going to have the bar. They're going to have the beard strapped down in the barber chair, lathered up, get ready to get shaved. They're going to have an easy time with Houston. Houston is so, as we call it in the street, so nutty. They're just so nutty. D-Light just roaming up and down, the court, fouling, hacking. I mean, I don't know where his mind is at. He must be in love with a stripper or something. But he's not going to show up. He's going to average probably under 10 and 10. And they're going to have a definite advantage. Draymond Green is going to be yapping in his face. He's going to intimidate D-Light. And you're going to see a shorter man dominate a big man. He's going to draw him outside, drive past him, shoot the three over him. It's going to be ugly. Ugly. One of the things 73-9 to do is to give you the confidence that you can go out there and just do your thing. Get that first 4 out the way. At least the first 3.
All right. First Lady with the final word. The Rockets will give it the old college try, but the push brooms are ready. Defend.
The people of Houston, Texas don't have faith that their team will win. They recently did a poll in Houston, and 100% said that they will lose. I mean, come on. 100% said they will lose. I mean, we know that the Warriors are going to win this game. And if you're thinking about it from this perspective, there's going to be a lot of pressure on the Warriors because they beat the first, they could make history by being the first 70-plus team with wins to lose a first-round playoff. So they are definitely not going to make this happen. So, Houston, you have a problem. The Warriors will sweep the floor with the Rockets team, and the players on the Rockets team will be moving out of the way of the Warriors because the Dubs are going to just steamroll the Houston Rockets. This team, the Houston Rocket team, is just too selfish of a team to even begin to know how to win a game against the Warriors. Oh. James Harden is all about himself. He's always pouncing the ball into the ground. I mean, we know what happened the last time against the Warriors. They did win one game, I believe, but they just didn't. He just continued to pounce the ball, and they were all over him. And that's what's going to happen. He, again, will do the same thing over and over again. They thought they could bring in a point guard, but they couldn't find the right point guard because they wanted to take the ball out of James Harden's hand. But what's his name couldn't help him. I'm having a memory lapse now. I can't remember the guard that they actually ended up trading. The one that couldn't. He had problems with DUI. Help me out, Dizzie Mac. But anyway,
Ty Lawson. Ty Lawson.
Ty Lawson. That's right. You remember? Ty Lawson couldn't help them. So they got rid of him. And now they don't have anybody to bring the ball up. So it's going to be the same old again. And this time they will get swept by the Warriors. The Warriors is definitely the best team on the planet, and there's no way for the Rockets to win at least one game.
Oh.
Sorry, Houston. You'll continue to have problems.
Continue.
All right. You heard the defense on both sides, on both flippers this week. On the other side, First Lady, take us to break.
On the other side of the break, we'll have another performance from Death Machine on Shout Out. Please stay tuned.
You will continue to have problems.
Oh, Rocket.
A positive reality. If you choose to cause harm, then you will be harmed by it as well. If you choose to create value, then you will benefit from that value. If you direct your efforts against the interests of others, those efforts will also work to oppose your own true interests. When you work to support others, you also end up supporting and advancing your own life. Negativity is universally destructive, regardless of the direction in which it is focused. Genuine love is universally creative and beneficial and goes far beyond its intended object. Don't bring your whole world down by obsessing over who or what you are against. Lift your world higher by supporting and advancing the values and visions you are for. Let go of the fears that hold you back. Grab hold of your most treasured dreams, for they will bring out your highest levels of effectiveness and creativity. Put your energy and efforts into what you favor. The way to experience a positive reality is to constantly keep your focus on a positive vision.
Welcome back. You are listening to Bras, Panties and Sports. It's time for Shout Out Part 2, the picks and the finale. The music flows from around the globe. You get a shout out from the First Lady and the crew. First Lady, what you got?
Well, we got another performance from Death Machine, and we're getting ready to hear the Slam Dance. All right, Slam Dance. All right, DJ, play that tune.
Track, I am back. Little steps begin, they crack, tell me with a party hat. And I get it amped with the lyrical. Little y'all just ask to this avalanche, no limit, no. I mastered the piece at the peak of my pinnacle. When I walk in, I'm a boss man. When I walk like a boss, off in. Beanie want to mimic, but I'm sick as anybody. Everybody gotta give it, make them bounce when I enter the building. Little back, like bananas with the new dance. Slam it, never panic. Like an anthem, chanting. We are so volcanic, automatic, got that rock and that roll. I'm rocking your dome, that flavor put a lock in your soul. I is cold, I've been told I could rip a penny beat. With it, I leave, been any child of monsters to anybody. Sleep or even slumber. For the hunger, I can rock with it, make it jump off. Jump off. Burn it up, we burn it up. We got the people make the roof over. Go fast it, it's your last chance. Everybody, let's go, time to slam dance. We slam dance, we slam dance. We got the people for the flavor, make them slam dance. We slam dance, we slam dance. We got the people for the flavor, make them slam dance. Boy, hit it, you can lose control. You can let me touch your soul via rock and roll up that. You know, nitty ass with a blunt sack, stunt trap with the high heels, make the feet tap. She strapping, I'm about to turn it up a little. See if I get the money in the middle of all these people going crazy. It's if it's Armageddon, but it's the new shit that they getting. For me and my compadres, sucker, we thicker than 40 thieves. And when the party done, we split it out 40 weeds. Believe me, something like a movie, maybe TV. Nobody do it better, had to be me. See we make the fine ladies wanna drop it like it's hot, and the fellas wanna hold it like it's not. The cherry on top is we rock this, flying in the cockpit. I'm about to show you where that top is. Rock this. Burn it up, we burn it up. We got the people make the people hold up. Go fast it, it's your last chance. Everybody, let's go, time to slam dance. We slam dance, slam dance, slam dance. We got the people for the flavor, make them slam dance. Slam dance, slam dance, slam dance, slam dance. For the flavor, make them slam dance. proximity, wishing, hoping, but never get know that. Rise and grind. Instead, I got you open looking for that rock to climb. Another spot to find. This ain't no mock design. I'm all original from inside out. We about to shut this bitch down. Turn it up. Rock the crowd. Roll the rolls. Get it, catch it, and go pro. I'm so low. Slicker, sicker, stay low. Couldn't help catch the flow. Just let me know. Worry of another, someone gets it if I don't. I gotta be first. Never saw it in river first. It's a 1-2. Knock out, punch the crowd first. Most beats swallow you, hold a call on us. Follow on every level when you catch it, you blow. Stay high, ride now. Yo, I did it. Go, go, go. Turn it up. We burn it up. We got the people, make the people go nuts. Go fast it. It's your last chance. Everybody, let's go. Time to slam dance. We slam dance. We slam dance. We got the people for the flavor, make them slam dance. Slam dance. Slam dance. Slam dance. Slam dance. For the flavor, make them slam dance. Go, baby. About to take you to the mountaintop. Yeah. Turn it up. Burn it up. Let me see you go nuts. Yeah. Yeah. Let me see you go nuts. Burn it up. Turn it up. Let me see you go nuts. Yeah. Go. Turn it up. Burn it up. Let me see you go nuts. Yeah. Like that. Slam dance. Let me see you go nuts. Like that. Yeah. Slam dance. Like that. Yeah. Come on. Go nuts like that. Like that. Yeah. Round of applause for the man. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Go nuts right now.
Hey, pass that shit, Frank.
Okay, man, that was Slam Dance. Okay, let's go to the panel. Ronnie B., what did you think of Def Machine with Slam Dance?
Well, being an old rocker for, they had me hooked with the old rocker. So, that brought me in. But, I don't know if folks caught it for reference to the Jeffersons with Wheezy. Like I said, I wonder, anybody under 30 know who Wheezy is? Unless they're hanging around their grandparents watching old TV, watching MeTV, where they show the rerun. Happy Days in the Jet. Because I'm like, what, Wheezy? I said, between Wheezy and you Hefner, I kind of go. I think that this group is not a bunch of youngsters, But hey, I'm giving a shout out. I'm just going, brothers, y'all throw it on in there. And and the track kind of reminded me of the back when Run DMC, would play with the rock groups. And so I was like, I'm giving it a shout out. I like the track.
Okay, Dizzie Mac, what did you think of the song Slam Dance?
Oh man, I thought a lot of fun. The Shimmy Shake Girls are all over the studio doing their thing, and they were really moving with it. I enjoyed the beat. The beat really made the song, and it made them rap, I think, a little bit more controlled than the first song, even though I like the first song too. But this one kind of showed their skills a little bit better because they could ride the track. The track was a nice, fun track, and they were having fun with it. So we shouted out First Lady. We liked that one.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm on the fence. It was a lot of noise to me. I guess what it is, I'm not a rocker, so it was a lot of noise to me, but I'm going to give it a yo. If you like that heavy metal meets rap, I guess it was okay. I mean, yeah, Ronnie B., you said it reminded you of Run DMC, but I don't know. To me, it was just more music playing, and I really didn't get the words too much. So I'm going to give it a yo, but...
Wheezy.
Yeah, Wheezy, but definitely going to give it a yo. So that's the end of Shout Out. If you like what you heard from Deaf Machine, check them out at deafmachine.com, and that's DEFMACHINE.com. If you like to be heard or have any comments, you can send your emails and tracks to panties@oldgrumpyradio.com. It's time for the picks.
Yeah.
And we know Dizzie Mac was last year's champion of the hardwood. Will he repeat the feat? We will see. Yeah. All right, let's get to the results. We actually have 2 weeks of results. So the previous week, Dizzie Mac had minus 3,500 points.
What?
Let me make sure I'm doing this right. You know what? Something happened here with my. Hold on for a second. I guess, you know what? I'm always getting things wrong. But anyway, I looked at the wrong results. Sorry about that. Dizzie Mac had. Here we go. Dizzie Mac had 7,500 points, and Aaron and myself, we had 17,500 points.
Oh.
That was the previous week when I was not part of the show, and Mr. Aaron did it great for 1 week. And then the last week results, Dizzie Mac, you had 6,000 points, and I had 6,500 points. So where do we stand now? The total points, Dizzie Mac, you're still leading the way with 36,000 points. I'm back in it with 29,500 points. Aaron had a great 1 week, 17,500 points. And D-Money, have we heard anything from D-Money? Well, anyway, he has 8,000 points. So let's get to the current picks. The bearded one will have more steals than Steph Curry in their first matchup. 5,000 for the correct answer, minus 7,500 for the incorrect answer. I'm going to start this off. I'm going to say no. I believe Steph Curry will have more steals. Dizzie Mac, what do you think?
I'm with you, First Lady. No. Steph, no. The bearded one will not have more steals than Steph Curry. No.
I don't know how y'all can do that. That beard can sneak anything in.
Well, you know, James Harden plays no defense.
No defense. But he can steal now. He does come out with a lot of steals, but Steph Curry has a lot of steals too. So that's why I agree with you on that. Detroit will steal the first game from the Cavaliers. 5,000 for the correct answer and minus 7,500 for the incorrect. Dizzie Mac?
No, Detroit won't steal nothing. They will get stolen on.
I agree with you. Detroit will not steal the first game. If you ever thought about a team that can be swept, I think this series, Cleveland will sweep the Detroit Pistons. All right, let's move on to the next one. LeBron will have more rebounds than Kawhi Leonard in their respective first game matchup. 5,000 for the correct answer, minus 5,000 for the incorrect answer. Oh, no, I'm going to say no. Kawhi Leonard, he always gets a lot of rebounds. That's how he starts the Spurs offense. So I'm going to say no. Dizzie Mac?
Well, see, I can answer this question a couple of different ways. You know, and I'm going to answer a couple of different ways if you don't mind. Now, Kwame Leonard, I don't know who the hell Kwame Leonard is. And hell yeah, LeBron going to get more rebounds than Kwame Leonard. Now,
I said Kawhi.
Yeah, Kawhi Leonard now.
You're right. I said initially that I said no, it's Kawhi Leonard.
Hey, I just making sure because Kwame Leonard, that's that.
Hey, the production assistant sometimes get the name right, but y'all know who he is on the Spurs.
That's why I said Kawhi. They said no, it's Kawhi Leonard.
You know how they be trying to, co-sign for their cousin, sister, cousin, brother. They be trying to get him some props. So
anyway, Dizzie Mac, what's your answer?
No, Kawhi Leonard will have more rebounds than LeBron.
Okay, Tim Duncan, the dinosaur, will score more points than Dwayne Wade in their respective first game matchup. 9,000 for the correct answer.
Dwayne Wade ain't exactly no spring chicken either.
And minus 5,000 for the incorrect answer. I'm going to say no. Dizzie Mac, what do you say?
No. Tim Duncan won't score that much.
He says he weighs no spring chicken either, but Tim Duncan is the older. Anyway, Charlotte will score more points than Boston in their respective first game matchup. 9,000 for the correct answer, minus 5,500 for the incorrect answer. Dizzie Mac.
I'm going to say no.
Nah, he's right. I have no on that one, too, because the Heat play good defense. So, no, I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, but Boston right now, on the average, scores a lot more than Charlotte. I think Boston Boston, they score a lot of points, so I'm going to say no. So it's going to be, is there any difference in our answers this week? Probably not, but that's okay. We have more time to go forward with this NBA playoffs to see who will be the NBA champion of the hardwood.
Me?
All right, before we go, it's time to find out what we missed this week. Dizzie Mac, what did you miss?
This week, I missed the Chicago Blackhawks. Go Blackhawks! Tie up their first round playoff series with the St. Louis Blues with the just crashed the crease. Crashed, hold up, that doesn't sound right. But anyway, they scored, made it 3-2, and hung on for the win. Go Blackhawks. Missed it.
Okay. Now, Ronnie B., I know we were glad to miss another Johnny Manziel story. He and his crew trashed in that room, right? That's what you were just saying, Dizzy. But what did you miss, Ronnie B.?
I miss Loyola coach Cheryl Swoops being investigated for mistreatment of players after mass transfers. Girl, what you doing?
What's she doing?
Swoops did.
Cheryl Swoops, who's going to be inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame?
The internal investigation is being launched by the school after 10 of Loyola's 12 returning scholarship players have transferred or requested a release from their scholarships this offseason.
I ain't got to go home, but I got to get the hell out of here.
Wow, boy. What did I miss? Well, I missed that fantastic game from Kobe Bryant. Scored 60 points in his final farewell game. Man, oh man, are we going to miss the Black Mamba? One of my all-time favorite NBA players, Kobe Bryant. We're going to miss you, Kobe. We're going to miss Kobe. But anyway. He bowed out gracefully. He finished his career on a high. Anyway, hopefully Laker Nation will be better next year. This is Cheryl Smith and Dizzie Mac. You have been listening to Bras, Panties, and Sports.